Hey Showmates, welcome to another online premium free class. So this is more like a compensation class for the last class we missed in the free class. It was really so painful. Honestly, I can't just cry because imagine the amount of stress I had to go through, wasting my time and effort to shoot a video, a class, and at the end of the day, I was not able to. The people I did it for, or the world that I did it for, was not able to benefit from it. It is really painful, but what will I do? Okay, so let's do another one, which is what I want to do. I don't want to do the one of voiceover because most people complain about the previous one being so fast. So I want to make this one as snappy as I possibly can. Also, make sure it is very slow and steady. Okay, so quick one. The very first thing we will be doing right now is to get um the radius. So you need your compass. If you don't have it, then you should just do it manually. Just find a way to get it right. So you use your midpoint, then leave about probably from this midpoint, measure about half inch or probably about maximum of 3/4 inch, but half inch is just fine. If you're using centimeters, use 1 centimeter or 1.5 centimeters for this midpoint separation, which is what I'll be doing now. Then the next thing you have to do is to get the amount of depth you want on the bust point. Okay, so basically, or rather should I say, okay, move up from this armhole line. Let me say armhole line. From this armhole line, move up by 1 inch at least, or maximum of 1.5 inches, depending on how covered you want your cup to be. But remember that a cup corset does not really have to be covered if you want it. If you wanted to sew a corset, it does not have to be covered if you want to really get it properly. Okay, so I'll be moving up a little bit. So before we go further, I will be getting a radius with this bust point and the new line we have here. So if you don't have the measurement of your client on the for the bust for the under bust length, then this radius you just measured now is the perfect point for your under bust for the client, for anybody's under bust measurement, as long as you use these guidelines. Okay, that is that. The next thing I have to do now is to on this bust point line, remember that this is the bust point line. Let me label it as BP. This one is UB, which is the under bust and the waist line. Okay, so then from this bust point line, you need to from this bust point line, you need to do a little bit of tightening, probably about 1 inch or maximum of 1.5 inches. Okay, so I'll be doing that now. Then from this bust point line, you need to come up by at least half inch. Okay, maximum of 3/4 inch. Coming up from this bust point line, you come up of with 1 inch. Sorry, half inch or 3/4 inches, 3/4 inch rather. So you've done that. After doing that, you connect this tightening you measure here, this mark of tightening, you connect it to this one. So I'll be doing that now. Okay, as you can see, I've done that. The next thing I will be doing now is to do the under bust tightening. You should know how to do that if you have been making the bustier before, so I don't have to elaborate on that anymore. But do not exaggerate this under bust line because of the tightening we have here, because we're going to eliminate this part. Then you connect it to the bust point as usual. The next thing I will be doing now is to remember that I move up from this armhole line, I move up by at least 1 inch here. It depends on how much depth you want, wherever you want your neckline depth to get. Okay, so this one now will serve as your bra top, the cap of your bra, or should I say the cap of your corset. So from there, from that point, you need to connect it to the original bust point we have here. Okay, don't get it twisted. Please follow me step by step. Let me zoom it closer. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is to, if you need to move up here to cover up a little bit, but do not exaggerate it, please. Do that. Can you see? So I actually stay on the exact um hack I have there, meaning the circle I have there initially. So if in your own case, you might choose to come down or go up further, anyhow you choose it. So on this point here, the exact um the circle I have here, I won't be stopping there. I will have to come out a little bit because the side breast, or maybe the side breast, is always kind of fuller than the center one. Okay, so I'll be coming out. Coming out should be about, with the guideline of about 1 inch, 1.5. Just suit yourself, and you should be able to guess that on your own according to your client's waist. Okay, so I'll be doing my own now. So the next thing I have to do now is to um first of all come down from here. I need to get the from this. If remember that we've come up here. Okay, so from there I need to come down from this armhole line. I need to come down by at least half inch right here. From this armhole line, I want to come down by half inch. And also you should be able to know how to manage your curve. So it should be maximum of 1 inch from the armhole line. Come down with the with at least half inch or 1 inch. Okay, from here you come down by 1 inch. Okay, so from there you move up with the, you remember that, let's assume you have about 1 inch. You move up from this point here, you move up by 1 inch. You should be moving up from here by at least 1.5 inches. Okay, then you connect it to this point. So if you have this shoulder, if you know you don't want this shoulder dart, or you are not using this shoulder dart, then fine, just connect what you have to connect. But for those that are using this shoulder dart, you can either transfer it to the bust dart first, so that you can do everything you have to do here comfortably. But because of time and the duration of this video, I won't be doing that. Instead, I will just temporarily close it up for now. So then I will do whatever connection I want to do there. Okay, then I can open it up now. So at this point, if you know you want to have another extra tightening on this overbust, then please do it at this point. Okay, so depends on the style you're making. Some style needs some that tightness on that upper overbust. Some style does not need it. So just suit yourself according to whatever you want and the style you're replicating. So I'll be doing a tightening of about at least half inch. Then the tightening should fall to the center point, not the side point. Okay, can you see what I have here? Okay, so at this point, the next thing I have to do now is to do another tightening. Remember that we have about 1 inch tightening here on this side, on this center point. Then on the side seam, you can have about half inch tightening. Okay, the tightening on this side should be a little bit, not as much as the one on the center point, so that the breast can at least find a place to move around and sit properly. And see what I have here. Shouldn't be more than half inch, please. Don't exaggerate it. Also, this place looks kind of slant to me. So in your own case, please make sure you have that curve. This part should not look slant. It has to be curved like a cup, something like a C. Should I say C or U? I think C is fine as a guide for you. So can you see what I have here? So I make sure I have that class is much more curvier than what I have there initially. I will be cleaning up this one to
Okay,
reduce
so at this
confusion.
point,
The next thing we have to do is to determine if you want your dart line to be straight like this, okay, or you want it to be slant coming to somewhere around here, something like this. So you should determine whatever you want. But in my own case, I want it straight. I don't want any ceremony on this one. If I tell you that we are done with the drafting of this corset, so you label your pattern as center front, side front, back bottom, back top. That's it. So the shaded part should be cut out. Okay, so this is what we have now, as you can see. The next thing we have to do now is to trace our one of these cups, either the bra top or the bra bottom, separately on another paper. Yes, because this is the reason why. Okay, yes, we are not done. This remember that this is the bra top. The bra top is coming right from here, like this. So this point, then here, then it's coming all the way to the bust point, but the side rack, the one on the side seam has not been completed. So we need to complete it by coming from here to meet this one. Okay. Use the slightly part, the slightly curved part of your curve. So can you see what we have? So at this point, I will be tracing out the bra top and the bra bottom separately on another paper. I don't know if you are getting it or you're following me. I know it's going to look kind of confusing to those that are not familiar with corsets. So, but then this is the simplest way I can come up with and the perfect corset I can come up with at the moment. So bear with it. So once you have traced out your bra top, because you only have to trace only the bra top, okay? Then you close of course, you have to close that part. So you just have to close it on top of the other one, just like this. And you see what we have. This is the bra top. So the reason why we trace, let me put it on it. Can you see that it gets to the bust point? Can you see? gets to the exact bust point. The reason why we trace it out is that remember that this bra bottom has exceeded the bust point, the exact bust point. It moves up much more than the bra bottom, okay? Which is why I had to trace it out, because if I say I want to cut it like this, that means if I cut the bra top out of this pattern, it will affect the bra bottom. Do you understand? If you still don't understand, you can just come to my, you can just ask me a question in the comment box, okay? So that's basically all I can do at the moment. Okay, yes, the arm hole, of course, you know you have to reshape your arm hole. Just reshape it. If you have to come down from the arm hole much more than that, then you can do that. But for me, I think I will be stopping there. Or rather, let me just come down a little bit. Yes. So you choose to leave your own at that point, then fine. So I'll be cutting my pattern piece now. So as for this particular class, I say haven't decided what to do with the down part. I will decide that behind the scene and come up with something meaningful at the end of this class. Okay. So of course, when you are done with the drafting procedure, you need to try to cross-check what you drafted if it is right or wrong, or if you need to do some correction, because yes, correction usually come up at times. So let's paste it to see what we have now. So basically, I hope you all understand the lapses we have here. The lapses we have here are the result of the data intake we took out here earlier. Okay, so all you need to do is to mark that point where the dots start from. Mark it, then the same thing applies to this part. Mark where it stops. So this is where it starts and this is where it stops. The next thing you have to do is to fold it so that you can eliminate that difference. While doing this, make sure your center front is on a straight line so that by the time you're cutting, you know, center front is always kind of unfold. So by the time you're cutting, it won't affect you. So after this, you can cross check it again to see if it is equal. So you just have to place it there. Place this one as well. So it is sitting properly, okay? And that's it is sitting accurately well. So let's check this side front as well, the side cup. So the only difference I think I will be having here is the half inch of that we took out from there. Can you see? The lapses is obvious. So in this case, what you need to do is to reduce it at this upper part. So you can always do this in the sewing process. Okay, okay. So you can reduce it now or reduce it when you are sewing it. Just know that in the sewing process, of course, the joining part of this cups has to align with the joining part of this part. So any other lapses you have right here should be eliminated after you're done with the sewing. And that will be the end of this class. You can do the back anyhow you want, then you can do the bottom part anyhow you want. Bye. We'll meet in the next free class.